much people can save in interest if they go to a broker. And we've also talked about the ability to secure a loan, but what else is there, that people can gain by coming to a broker such as yourself over going to the straight to the bank?
Okay, now, not all brokers are the same. Some brokers might not be able to provide this because there are banks that are not available to all the brokers in New Zealand, so to speak. For example, Kiwi Bank, TSB, BNZ, they don't actually work with every broker out there. That's where it's quite important that you are selective about who you choose. But having said that, one of the other things that I think is vital in the advice piece with mortgages is making sure that your lending is structured in a way where you are in control as the client. In this area particularly, we have a lot of clients that own multiple properties. I've also noticed where all of them have everything secured with the same bank. The disadvantage there is if somebody suddenly needs to do something to one of the properties and it's quite minor. An example would be somebody that needed $20,000 last year. Now, he went to his bank and there was like several millions worth, but it was all tied together. The bank said no, and suddenly they couldn't do anything. $20,000. It was ridiculous. Whereas what we ended up doing was splitting it all.
Yes.
So, yeah, exactly. So the properties were split across different banks. The borrowing was split across different banks. So essentially what that means is if they want to do something with one bank, they can. And then if that says no, you can move to the other bank. One of the other reasons I say you should split is you have a lot of people in this area that are upsizing.
This is in St. Heliers, Eastern Bay.
Exactly, Eastern Bay. You have people that want to sell their first home or the second home because they want to buy the third home or the fourth home. So for those people, it's quite important that they have access to the sale proceeds. They have the cash flow after they sold the property so they can use it to buy something else. Now, if you have all your lending secured with the same bank, the risk is there that the bank may decide they want you to use the money to reduce the lending on the other properties. So that could be the difference between you being able to buy a property worth $1 million to $2 million.
But let's focus in on loan market now. They do a fabulous presentation. So why loan market?
Loan market is one of the biggest mortgage broking advisor firms in New Zealand. There are several hundred advisors working under the umbrella. Collectively, we write the highest number of loans in New Zealand and therefore have access, what do you call them, punching power?
Punching power.
So it's got the highest, which allows us to negotiate better rates as well as get you the access to products that other firms might not actually have.
And you also work very closely with Ray White. In particular, I know that you work very closely with Team Everett.
Yes, we do indeed.
Yes, because it's important to our buyers and our sellers, that are buying another property, that they can get the best loan at the lowest rate and have the most amount of money available for them. Even if they don't use it, they need to know how much they can borrow. We also, when we present a house, one of the parts of the information pack is something that's tailored directly to that home and lending, because Tenzin makes up a spec sheet especially for that property.
Yes.
And you also come along to the open homes.
Yes, we do. Quite often the amount of money that you can borrow on a property is reliant on the type of property that you purchase. Whether it's a home and income, whether there's bedrooms in there, whether it's plaster, whether it's a crossed lease, or there's quite a lot of different factors. Obviously, if there's something minor wrong with the property, or for some of them actually quite major problems with the property. For example, an entire house unconsented. Don't ask me how I got that across the line, but we did, and we did it with a bank as well.
You got that across the line?
Yeah, and we did it.
The whole house was unconsented?
Yeah, but we worked closely with the lawyer and we got some paperwork in place where the lawyer gave undertakings and, long story.
Have you got a magic wand by any chance?
Yes, I do indeed.
She has, you should see her wave that magic wand around. We run when she does that. So Tenzin, we've discussed the loan market, we've discussed mortgage brokers, but why you? And you're proud, you should be proud of what you've achieved.
Well, I don't like doing that. I normally prefer letting my work speak for myself than to...
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
And it does. You know, we've known Tenzin for quite a while, and as I said before, you know, we work in with Loan Market and Tenzin quite a lot. And it's because we do this, because we've got such a tight relationship, that we can help you all through the process of buying a home or selling your own home. So it's important that when you come to us and when we give you an appraisal or we speak with you about buying a property, that we also include the services of a decent mortgage broker. And Tenzin's one of the best, if not the best, to go to. So is there anything more that you could tell me about this murky world of real estate mortgages?
Not really. I mean, this is what people come to us for, and I don't like bombarding them with information unless they ask for it. So my job is to step in, take the paperwork away, take away the worry, and basically make the process as seamless as possible.
You did mention though before that you're spreading loans over banks.
Different banks, that's provided you have several properties.
So if you've got one property that you're buying, you can't split the loan?
No, you can't.
Okay.
It's one mortgage, one property, one bank.
Could you split the products so you've got part of it?
Yes, we do. That's quite common that we do that.
So you put part of it as a fixed rate and another part as a floating?
Yeah, and the fixed rate, at the moment it's mostly 12 months, but previously we would have them staggered over different periods. The reason for that being, if a mortgage is spread over, say for example 1, 2, 3 years, if the rates start going up, you know that you've got the certainty that part of the mortgage is fixed on a longer period, so you've got that rate locked in. If the rates goes down, which is happening at the moment, you know that part of your mortgage is coming up for review, so you can take advantage of the lower
So
rates.
as of today, what's the best mortgage rate that you think?
At the moment, we did get 2.29, but that's pretty. Having said that, we were getting it as late as end of last year from some of the banks. 2.29 fixed for 12 months.
Goodness.
And yes, I know.
I won't tell you that when I bought my first home with my wife over in Australia, we were paying 24.7, I think it was, %.
That's insane.
And what's interesting is that people say that real estate is expensive now, but the actual cost of borrowing money, well, you know, you compare 2.29% compared with 25% that we were paying, you know, it's come down so much. So relatively speaking, there's not as much difference as people make it out to be. So even though prices have gone up, the cost of owning the home, the cost of borrowing has gone down.
Yes. So I mean, I wouldn't. A couple of years ago, you wouldn't never have thought it, but you can actually now buy properties whereby the rental income more than covers the mortgage, and you're talking in all.
So you're positively geared.
Yes.
There's got to be something done to get a hold of you. And I mean, it's no good people just searching through the phone book. The phone book doesn't exist now. So to get a hold of Tenzin, you can phone Tenzin on
021 404006.
And then
and to get Peter
on 027 663 0765. So I'd like to thank Tenzin Choedon, and for all her help and her positivity towards the mortgage broking industry, and what she's done for our team, and how she's helped a lot of our clients, and she'll continue to help our clients. You know what? She could help you.